Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and this week on Idle Heroes we have a crazy event. Some could say this is one of the best events we've ever seen for spenders. Some would say it's a dead event which free-to-play players should skip. Who is right? Well, we're going to find out by taking a look at this week's event, and spoiler alert, you're both right. This is both a terrible and fantastic event. Let's go take a look. But before we do, let me remind you about Patreon. It's a way you can support my channel financially, and in return get yourself rewards through Discord. Now, if you're not one of the many lucky people who managed to get a subscription to my Twitch page, Patreon will offer you the ability to get account reviews on a Tuesday. So if you want to back us on Patreon, you can find the link up there in the top corner of the screen. And a shout out goes to this week's patrons. We have Alberto Marco, we have Sebastian Fork, we have Frank the Tank, and we have Aiden Savage. So thank you guys for your support, and hopefully we'll see you for account reviews. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, every day for logging in, you're going to get yourself 15 mithril pickaxes. This is completely normal for a Sky Labyrinth event, but this week these pickaxes will be more important than usual because you need them to get the higher tier rewards available in this week's event. Also, you get a wishing coin which you can use to go ahead and get yourself some pretty cool stuff in the Super Wishing Fountain. But this doesn't count towards a wishing coin event, so you can pretty much use it as part of whatever you want. But there is a monthly event that does say you need to use 50 Super Wishing coins, so if you unlocked this, it's probably best to use it for that. So let's take a look at the value packages for this week. We get 15,000 gems, we get 80 mithril pickaxes, and we get 240 wishing coins. That's for $100, and it scales down depending on how much you want to spend. You can also grab this for story gems, which is probably better value because you can just buy for the same value normal story gems for prism story gems, convert them in the auction house, buy heroes that are cheaper than their retirement value, and then retire them for contract story gems. And that's probably what you want to do. There's no way you're going to buy all of this stuff. If you do, you're an absolute nutter or a whale. To be fair, no, you're not even a whale. You're like a megalodon. No one buys these packs, okay? So probably don't buy these packs. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the actual stuff. We've got Sky Labyrinth. That's completely normal. Normally, I like to choose Queen here. I get 2 active skills out of her. Then I switch to Asmodel. That's if I'm a free-to-play player. If you're a spender, normally you could go in and use Halora for a lot more of the floors. It just depends on what you're doing. But typically, people like to switch to Asmodel when they're getting towards the end, just so they don't miss the chance to do actives if they are available. Because sometimes you can only get 1 active skill with Halora, but you get 2 active skills with Asmodel. So it's just a little energy optimization thing. You can worry about that if you want to. Some people just say, screw that. I'll do Asmodel for the entire run. That's also fine too. They're very similar in value. Doesn't really matter which one you pick. Just don't pick Sword Flash. Anyway, the event is going to get you your normal stuff. Free-to-play players normally expect to get to the quad hero chest. If you're going to push it up, you could get a 9-star puppet. And of course, you can go all the way up and get yourself the sky chests, which contains stellar shards, or you can get some starspawn cores. And a lot of people will probably be getting to floor 15 this week, and we'll explain why that's the case later. But this does contain elusive mirror, and if you do choose to go for the double privilege, you get 2 of these. So that's pretty helpful if you need elusive mirror on your account, which a lot of people do because you need about 3 of them at Splendid to do well in Star Expedition, because there are some pretty gnarly strats. If you know, you know. Anyway, let's go take a look at the rest of the stuff. We've got ourselves a Moonlight gift. This is very good. This is getting us our usual rewards we expect from Sky Labyrinth. So the first few tiers, getting 500 VIP XP is normally excellent. That gets you 300 Prism Story Gems. A lot of people who get the monthly Carnival card like to use this event as a way to obtain it. So what they'll do is they'll spend their $10, which is 500 VIP points, just to get their monthly Carnival card. And you always know that this Moonlight gift is going to come up during Sky Labyrinth events. So it's just a nice way to get 300 Prism Story Gems onto your account. However, if you look, we've got something special. We have this, the Starlight Privilege, which we'll take a look at in a second, but it suddenly transforms what is typically a questionable Moonlight gift into something truly amazing. We've got our standard rewards here where it scales up. For $70, you're getting yourself extra Prism Story Gems, you're getting cores for $100, you're getting 500,000 Stellar Shards, and you're getting the normal mithril pickaxes. That's all fantastic, but then there's always this questionable last tier, right? Where it's $200, so another $100, a huge step up, and all you're getting is an artifact chest, 500,000 stellars, and 500,000 crystals. And normally people go, ooh, why would I do that? That's a massive spike. However, there's a ×6 Starlight Privilege bump in here, and that is ridiculous, because if you look at the Starlight Melody, the most basic points you can get is 1,000. That's going to get you this, which can either be an artifact if you're feeling weird, but more importantly, it can get you Sublimation and Cause of Origin, And if you really want it, Destiny materials, which is one of the cheapest ways to obtain Destiny materials. But because DH Games are feeling nuts, it's not just a ×3 this time, they've added a ×6 to that $200. So theoretically speaking, if you spend $200 and you can get to 1,000 points on this, you can get this chest 6 times over, which means you can get 6 lots of Destiny materials, or you can get yourself 6 Cores of Origin, or 6 Sublimation chests. This is ridiculous. That's probably the best $200 you could ever spend in Idle Heroes, which is wild. On top of that, you get this chest, which they've thrown in for good measure, which is really silly. It's getting you 2 orange selection chests, which are any of the orange treasures available in the treasure train. On top of that, you've also got a pink treasure, which can be any of the great pink treasures you see here. There's this machine that gives maim. There's this cup here, which gives a lot of attack. Like, there's some crazy stuff available to you, which you could totally pick up to improve your account. So I think this is wild. If you can get to 1,000 points, you get 3 of this, and you get 6 of this. That's not to mention this. Hear this. You get 60 100 chests, so it's 60 times 15,000 stellars. You get 30 of the 200 chest, and you get 20 of the 300 chest. That's over 1.5 million stellar shards just in pure chest value, and 110 transcendence chests between all these. If you were ever worrying about doing Awakens on your account because you didn't have any hero copies, this is just going to give you a buttload. Not to mention the Master's Toolboxes you're going to be picking up as well, which is absolutely stupid. The Spiritual Essence, you'll never, ever, ever worry about being able to make Tree of Origin heroes again. This is crazy. But of course, that's if you spend enough to get yourself the ×6, that's $200, and get to 1,000 points. So how are we getting to 1,000 points, and is it even worth it? Well, let's start off by taking a look back at this event. We've got the Wishing Fountain event. So one of the ways you can get points here is by using wishing coins. There's nothing special about this. Actually, the only thing that makes the wishing coins worth it is the Starlight Melody. That's probably the last thing you want to do. So we'll go back to that when we better understand what we need to do here. But more importantly for you guys, it is just going to get you Prophet Orbs, Super Wishing Coins, and a copy of Sherlock. It's not that exciting. So just do that to top up your points here. But for every 10 spins you do on the Wishing Fountain, you will get a point. Now, I want to draw your attention to something really important. I shouldn't have to do this, but some people forget. 80 coins is 100 spins. So it's not going to require you to do 2,000 wishing coins, for example, to get 200 points. It requires you to use 1,600 wishing coins because you get 20 extra if you spend 80. So just remember that. The 80 coins is 100 spins. As well, you might think you haven't got any wishing coins. You can go ahead and look in the arena store where you can buy them for the arena currency. Look here, I can get 875 of them. That's a heck of a lot of wishing coins. So if you guys need these, go ahead and grab them. They will help you complete this week's event. But as I said, that's not the main priority. We have other options here as well. Awaken a hero's Soul Awaken one time in the Soul Temple. And normally just throwing awakens on heroes is typically not good, but we do have a Soul Awakening offer here, which makes it worth it, because this is why we save our awakens for events like this one. 300 points is normally where people aim to get to. You get a Core of Origin, or you get an Essence Sublimation chest, and that will require you to do about 50 awakens. So let's assume you do 50 awakens. Let's assume you can do that. You're going to need for that around 3,500 contract storage gems, assuming you're retiring everything that you pick up. But let's say you can do that. That's straight up 50 awakens times 5 points. That's 250 points. Now we have to consume mithril pickaxes. You get 15 every day. There's 7 days in a week, so that's 105 mithril pickaxes you will have. So that's going to take us to 355. But don't forget that in the Sky Labyrinth, you can buy another 40. So that takes us to 395. That's pretty solid. And if you remind yourself, the Moonlight gift is going to get you 10 here, so that's 405. And you're going to get yourself an additional 60. So 465. So if you do spend $100, you can expect, if you do the gala, to immediately get 465 points for getting yourself up to 300 points. So what you can do then is use 1,600 wishing coins to do 2,000 spins. That's going to get you 200 more points, and that's going to be for you 665 points, which all you have to do then is get 2 more points, which you can probably get a couple more mithril pickaxes just from doing the Sky Labyrinth, and that will take you to 667. So if you spend 100 bucks, 667 times 3 will get you 2,000 points from this. That's going to be 2 of this chest, so you get to pick whatever you want from here twice, and you get 1 of this chest. Very nice. But let's say you wanted to get to 1,000 points. Well, what's the best way to do that? Well, we need to find ourselves another 333 points. Easiest way to start is we're going to send ourselves in back to the gala, and we're going to do all the way up to 600. Excellent. That's going to require you to have another about 3,500 contract story gems, again, assuming you retire everything, and that's going to push you to 600 points. It's a heck of a lot of awakens, but it's going to be 100 around there in total. That's going to be another 250 points. All we need to do now then is just find the remaining about 80 more points, 85 more points from this. Unfortunately, there's a really, really easy way to do that. If you remind yourself, if you go to the value packs, you can spend 2,500 contract story gems to buy this up here. That'll get you some wishing coins to help you out. That's going to get you 80 more mithril pickaxes, and that will get you 80 more points on here, which will then, if you get some extra pickaxes along your way in the Sky Labyrinth, take you up to 1,000 points in total. So for me to quickly summarize that, if you got confused, the best way to get to 1,000 points here is to do the full gala, which is 100 awakens to get to this very top point. Then grab yourself the value pack here, that's 2,500, and on top of that, if you can, you'll want to get yourself 1,600 wishing coins used to do 2,000 openings, which is 200 more points. With all the mithril pickaxes you're getting for buying them with gems, for logging in every day, all that stuff is going to get you enough points to get you to 1,000. At that point, you've either got the X3, which is going to get you 1 of these 2,000 chests and 3 of these 1,000 chests, or you can be gnarly and you can go and spend another 100 bucks, probably on story gems or something that you need, and that will take you to X6, which then doubles your rewards all over again, which is probably what I would recommend. So, in my personal opinion, the best 2 possible ways to enter this event as a spender or spend 100 bucks and get to 667 points and just grab this twice and that once, or spend 200 bucks, get to 1,000 points and times that by 6. There are other ways of entering this where you can go ahead and change your scaling. Let's say you still get 667, but then you want to times it by 6. That's going to get you 4,000 points. There are different ways of doing this to ensure that you are getting a degree of value. Heck, you could try and get to 5,000 points, get 5 of these, and then 2 of these. Whatever works for you. But of course, getting this fully maxed is ridiculous value. You get tons of stellar shards. Don't forget that as well, if you're looking for something to spend 100 bucks on, there's this monthly package as well. And that's getting you 1.5 million stellar shards on top of that. So you'll get 1.5 million stellar shards from there. You'll then get about 1.5 million stellar shards just from these boxes. And to make it even more crazy, the Moonlight gift is just giving you 1 million stellar shards and 500 crystals of transcendence. So that's a heck of a lot of transcendable materials that you're getting. And I think, mate, this is probably one of the stupidest, but also fantasticest ways, that's not even a word, that you can get yourself a lot of crazy rewards for 200 bucks in Idle Heroes. It's got all the big stuff you could possibly ever ask for. Destiny materials, sublimation, cause of origin. I mean, what more do you want? This is the cheapest way ever that DH Games have given us access to Destiny materials. And if they keep doing this, it's going to become a lot easier for people to get access to Nirvana heroes. By a lot easier, that's a heck of a lot of 200 bucks you're going to have to spend, but it makes it cheaper than we've seen in the past, and that's absolutely what we want to see. So that's all the stuff you can go ahead and do if you wanted to be a spender. Obviously, you can just skip this if you want to. There's no obligation to spend on this game, but it is certainly good value this week. And of course, if you're a free-to-play player, you're probably wondering, should you go for the Gala? But actually, there's no B-, B, or B+ stone available to you this week because there's no Soul Awakening session. So personally, I would save your contract story gems for a different Gala that is giving you access to a B or B+ stone. So if I was you folks, I would go ahead and save for that. Which means it's an easy week for free-to-play and budget players, because the only option you can do is ask yourself, am I going to go ahead and spend 500 VIP XP on a monthly carnival card to get this? If not, don't do anything and just go ahead and use your mithril pickaxes. You'll get 105, maybe 145 points, and that's going to be one of these, which is going to get you a little bit of stellar shards and some master's toolboxes. And who can be sad about some master's toolboxes? Also, don't forget, we've got the Soul contract, so put your 6-star Light and Darks in here and get yourself 300 contract story gems as well, which will actually help you in future Soul Awakening sessions, which give you actual access to B+ stones. So that would be my advice. I think this is a pause and wait event for free-to-players, and if you just needed me to convince you that little bit more, if you were going to go ahead and do 50 Awakens to get to 300 points, that's only 250 points here, plus your free-to-play Mithril pickaxes, that's not even 500 points. So if you went ahead and used all the wishing coins to fully max the wishing coin event, you wouldn't even get to 1,000, so it wouldn't be worth it. It's completely dead. The only reason you would go in on this event as a free-to-play player is if you were like Renville in chat, who has 7,500 wishing coins, so he can theoretically get to 1,000 points this week without spending any money. And that's probably not something he's going to do because he's a big fat stupid whale, so he's probably just going to spend money anyway. So yeah, also, if you're a free-to-play player with 7,500 wishing coins, what the heck did you do? Like, what the frick? So there you go. Is this a good event? Yeah, if you're willing to spend 100 or maybe 200 bucks and you've got the contract story gems to do Awakens. But if you're a free-to-play player, it's a big old snooze fest. Next week, we've got Imp's Adventure, Extra Drop Carnival, and we have a shelter mission offering Inosuke, Betty, Geista, and Delacium. So get your 4 stars saved up. You'll need them to go ahead and grab those heroes. Also, Forkis and Natalia are the heroes available in the Light and Dark slots, but of course, they're 2,000 gems each, so screw that. I ain't wasting my gems on them. So that's it for this week. Let me know in the comments section what you're doing, and if you're a spender, are you going to spend 100 bucks and get to 300 points in the gala? Are you going to spend 200 bucks and get to 300 points in the gala? Or are you going to be absolutely wild like me this week, and are you going to spend 200 bucks and do all 100 Awakens needed to get yourself to the very top of that gala? Because boy, there's so many good rewards, and I'm very excited. If you want to see what happens this week on my accounts, hit the subscribe button, because my friends will be bringing you those videos very, very soon. And don't forget, if you want to catch my content live, join me at twitch.tv/MKxJUMP. And if you're watching it this week that the video came out, I'm probably still live. We're currently doing a subathon where my stream never ends until the timer hits 0, and right now my amazing community have kept that timer up. You probably saw it move in this video. Anyway guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Have an amazing week, and happy idling.